Hey guys, Kev here, and I have 3 knives to show you today. I'm doing some rapid review sessions because I got a bunch of knives in. I'm going to clear them out for whatever comes in next so I don't get piled on. This is my process. You guys have probably figured it out by now. Unbox knife, disassemble knife, rapid review. Sometimes a bunch of rapid reviews at once because that's just kind of how it goes. Anyway. I have 3 sort of premium knives, I would say. The first one is probably the most premium. This is the WE Knives Neferis, or the Neferis. I'm just kidding. It's definitely the Neferis. Sorry, that was funny to me. Rob's Nerdy Knives loaned this into the channel, so check out Rob's channel, Rob's Nerdy Knives. And this is a favorite of many people. There's a couple of guys I know who had this as their best knife of last year. There's a couple of guys I know that absolutely just love this thing. And when it came in from Rob, you guys probably would have seen the unboxing by now. If you haven't, it'll be linked somewhere along the way here. I wanted to hate this knife. It was one of those knives where everybody likes it, so I want to hate it. But, you know, I don't convince myself to hate something. It came in. It's a good knife. It's a well-made knife. There's actually some really cool stuff going on here from WE. I think they did a better job on this knife than I've seen them do on a lot of other knives. I mean, they did this really nice milling pattern here. They have some kind of polish going on the titanium scales. They're not just bead blasted, right? You have that cool looking collar there. Very nice pocket clip. Little mini speed holes are a nice touch. Now, there are some negatives for me. I hate one-sided inlays, so I kind of wish that, you know, this aluminum carbon fiber could be on the other side somewhere, or maybe it was just all this kind of polished titanium. This is a bead blasted blade. I really despise bead blasted blades, especially on something this expensive. This is like a $300 knife. And a bead blast just is not ideal. It will rust on me particularly, but on most people, I think, given enough time. This is in 20 CV steel, and it is a limited edition. It came with this like birth certificate, social security number card, which is a little ridiculous, but whatever. There seems to be some internal milling on this side over here. There is not on this side down here. Very cool backspacer, just, you know, really interesting little touches. Now, I do think this knife is a little bit ugly. And that's where I think some people think it's sexy and I just think it's ugly, and that's kind of where we fall apart, right? Where they say it's amazing and I say, you know, it's a good knife, just not, you know, something I would spend my money on. This area right here just kind of is weird to me. It just gets all big and chunky right here, and I'm not a fan of that. I also don't like flipper tabs where I have to reach up to the like top of the frame to get it and rip it. Now, that does mean that you get great leverage, and even on a version with a pretty light detent, I guess it's not really light. It's, you know, medium detent. I think Rob said he actually tuned it to be weaker, but it doesn't matter. This detent could probably be non-existent. The way this flipper tab's set up, you just are going to rip it, right? Because you're pulling down and back at the same time. It's just, you know, physics. The hole is something that, you know, it's not perfect for me. It's not as bad as like the Tactile Archer or the Koenig Arius for me. Those just have such a weird hole placement for me personally. And I think it has something to do with me being left-handed, even though I'm basically ambidextrous at this point with knives. I think the way I flick maybe is different than how a natural righty would do it. And so my fingers land in a different spot, or I don't know. But the hole just, it's not bad. It's just not like the greatest reverse flicking feeling ever on a knife. So, you know, just a couple things I don't love. The choked up grip is phenomenal. I wish the jimping came up a little more because my thumb kind of lands up here. But it is comfortable up in this grip. And then back here, I mean, I would never hold it back here, but it is kind of comfortable. I feel like maybe we looked at the EMP EDC Nimble that has taken, you know, the knife world by storm, or at least it did a couple years ago. And I think they maybe were like, how can we capitalize on that? They didn't put a front flipper on this, but I just feel like it has a little bit of nimble in this knife. I don't know. Maybe that's weird, but that's how I feel. Very, very excellent knife overall. I love how they did this lock bar kind of like cut in here. That's unique and very cool. And it's nice and thin. It's got great action. Rob's got this thing tuned in very, very well. Lock up, no rock, no side to side, and it basically just drops shut. So excellent knife overall. Great build quality from We, and I see why a lot of you guys love this thing. I just personally don't, but I can definitely give it its due and give We some credit. They also didn't billboard the shit out of this one, which I really appreciate that as well. This is available right now at Blade HQ at the time that I'm recording this. I will throw links down in the description if you want to pick one of these bad boys up. It looks like they have 3 versions currently. They have sort of the blacked out cousin to this version with the copper carbon fiber, copper foil carbon fiber, and a blackwash blade or black blade. No, blackwash, perfect. And I would probably take that one over this one because I would much rather have that blackwash than the bead blast. And then you're going to get the copper infused carbon fiber, which I think is the nicer one of the 2 infused carbon fibers. Then they have the plain Jane, Nephorus, as we're going to call it. And yeah, it's bead blasted, unfortunately. And then they have the baller one in titanium and nebula fat carbon with a Damascus steel. I'm guessing that's their, is that their 9CR base, or is it 154CM base? I can't remember what it is, but I think it's been tested. Yeah, I saw a Neves Knives video where he tested the Vision FG. And definitely, by the way, interruption here. Go check out Neves Knives videos where he compared the Vision FG and then like a Damascus FG. And then he did another one on the Wee Cupid and the Civivi Cupid. I think that's what those knives are called. I've never tried those. But those videos were incredible. I just watched them like 20 minutes ago. And that dude put a lot of work into those videos. I'm sure you guys have all seen it if you're watching my channel, but go check it out if you haven't. Neves Knives battle videos. They are absolutely phenomenal. Got to give the dude props for that. All these other versions are sold out. And it turns out, actually, I think this is like one of his favorite knives. Yeah. I don't see it, but I get it. I get it. It's just not for me. All right. Enough of that. The next one is going to be the ugly duckling, and that's going to be this Kaiser Holdra. And this guy currently is unavailable. They had it on an early bird kind of thing. I don't know what Kaiser's setup is these days. I think they kind of release the knives. They send them to reviewers. We show them off. Then they do like a pre-order, like an early bird pre-order. But it's not like a wait 6 months pre-order. It's like a wait 2 weeks pre-order, right? While the knives are shipping from China to the US, right? That's my theory. They send a small batch of these to the US, or they send them from China to us reviewers. And then they do this sort of early bird pre-order so that, I guess when we post the videos, people have something to pick up. And then once the knives actually get here from China off the boat, then they can drop the remaining knives and they'll ship yours. So it's just a short pre-order. It's an interesting way to do it, and I think it works. I have no issue with it. People were upset about it on that Militaw, but it is what it is. Anyway, this is the Holdra. It's designed by a guy named Mason Hayes. I actually got to see him on a Kaiser live stream, and he seems like a cool dude. And this is his first design to be released, but he has other designs in the works. It seems to be less of a community, like this wasn't like a contest design or anything. He legitimately is a knife designer at this point and has multiple projects going. And this is just the first one to release. Now, that being said, this one just isn't for me personally. The blade to handle ratio just, it hurts me deep down in my soul. And I can't do anything about that. It's just a mental thing for me. I actually was recently able to kind of let it go on the Bosteed RS Chaos. I have officially kind of let that go out of my mind. It's not a big hindrance to the way I feel about this knife anymore. I love this knife to death. It is quickly becoming one of my favorite knives. And so I'm a hypocrite. But yeah, it just kills me on this one. Aesthetically, it absolutely just destroys my soul to see this handle right here. The way this comes down and just... and you have like this much knife left over, and then the clip is mounted on the rear like you had no room because you were gonna hit the blade or something. Oh man, it just hurts. And then the hole is kind of covered up a little bit by the frame locks. It's still accessible, but you know, I feel like if you're messing with proportions that much, you might as well have just brought this out a little bit to make that hole more accessible. And then for me, the handle design doesn't quite go with the blade design. So like, to me, this handle has sort of curved aspects to it, where this blade has absolutely zero curved aspects to it, except for in the hole here. Other than that, it's all angles, right? Where this has some curvature to it. So they just don't match up for me in my brain, right? Now, that being said, there's a lot of people that really like this design. You can't get it on the early bird anymore. I guess it's sold out. So that's awesome. People love it. That's what it's all about, guys. We're all different, right? And I'm just here to give you my honest take. And you're going to get that regardless. So that's it. Yeah, it just doesn't work for me. Now, all of that being said, the action on this knife it's next level. It's freaking good, man. Kaiser destroyed the execution on this. The flipper tab is perfect. I mean, it literally, when you're not an idiot, it literally just rips. The detent is perfectly dialed for everything. Just rips. You know, this one's all black washed, all stone washed, so it's going to be a little smoother, but the jimping's very well done. Look at that. It just shreds out of there. You have a front flipper design where I harp on this constantly, but I wish the jimping would just be more, you know, small, like just space it a little less and then come up and around on it, and it would just be that much better. But it works, man. It works really well. And I have a little cut there on the side of my thumb, so I'm just being a little tender with it, but it fires out of there. You can thumb flick it. I haven't tried this one, but yep. You can roll back it. It's not going to be one I would reach around just because of the angles of everything. And then you have the hole, which is, man, that detent is crispy for the hole. It's very, very well done. Thumb flick is possible. I'm not the best at it, but you can thumb flick it easily. Now, left-handed, you really have the flipper tab, which again feels just phenomenal. And you have the front flipper right there. And you saw I slipped off of that because, again, that jimping is, you know, there's not really much there. And then you can thumb flick it. Now, you can't reverse flick it lefty because you're on the lock bar. You got to come up here onto the pivot or something, and then you can fire it. Ergonomically, pretty comfortable up in this flat grip right here. You got plenty of handle there, and you could choke back like this. I don't really like this grip because this area is kind of just in a weird spot for me. I don't like how that feels. So I'd rather be up like this. So you could have just cut off the back end of this handle and it probably would have fixed a few of my issues. But anyway, yeah. So cool knife. It's definitely going to be a cutter as well. It's got decently thin stock and an absolutely sharp as shit blade. S35BN. So there it is. That is the Huldra from Kaiser. And again, I'll link it down below. They may be available by the time this video actually posts. And the last one here is the mini Katana Z1 folder. This is the one I unboxed, I don't know, a week or two ago. And man, I really like the flipper tab on this thing. It works so well. The detent, the button lock, everything works really well on this knife for me with that flipper deployment. I still have not heard from anybody if they have confirmed the HRC on this, but they do list it at 62, which is really good for M390 coming over from China. People had some contentions on the price, it being $230. Now, there are 15% codes out there from a bunch of people. You can go find it. Just search this knife on YouTube and you'll find a video with somebody who has a code. I don't have one. I didn't ask for one. And I'll link their website. I don't have an affiliate link or anything. They did ask me to join, but this is really the only item from them that I have any interest in. And so it just didn't seem like it wasn't worth it for me to sign up for an affiliate program. But I'll happily link it there for you guys, and you can check out the codes from whoever you like. Now, I found a couple of gripes after that initial video because I've spent a little more time with it. The tip is damn near accessible. I'm poking myself right here. It's not bad. Like, it's not like it's sticking up, but I can get my finger in there and grab it pretty easily. There is no lash or anything like that on it. The bead blast bothers me a bit at this price point, and it's not really because of the price. Like, it's not that it's cheap to do a bead blast. I mean, it's not any more or less than a stonewash or a basic satin, but the rust factor, like, I would rust this very quickly in the summer months, and on a knife for, $180 with the coupon or whatever, I want something that I won't have to worry about, I guess. It has decent grind. It's not the thinnest thing. I can feel a little bit of girth under there. It's not feeling super thin. You can see the stock, and it has a decent edge on it. It's not like really super sticky or anything, but it's pretty good. They never did tell me who the OEM was. And the other thing that bugged me a little bit is, even though I loved the flipper tab, it is actually a little bit pokey. So you have that hook at the end there, that last jimp, which is nice because it grabs your finger. But if you sit here and fidget with this for a while, it actually was bruising the front of my index finger. And I noticed, like, the next day I couldn't pick this up and fidget with it like this because my finger was like raw, basically. So I don't know how much of an issue that is for most people, but knives where I have to have a cool down period between fidgeting is not my favorite thing. But I think overall it's very cool. There's a lot of options in this material and price range. So that's where, you get a little bit, it's a little tricky, right? Can I recommend it? Yeah, I think it's well made. I think the materials are good for $180. I think the action's good. If you like a flipper only knife, you like a button lock, I think you would enjoy this knife. It kind of reminds me of like a Sativian. I don't know why, but it does. I just wish it had a fuller or something, because they had space there for a fuller and you could have flicked the shit out of it. Would have been nice. Also, I have no idea what Invictus Blades is, because it's Mini Katana's website, so I don't know if it's their knife or somebody else's knife or what, but yeah, those are my thoughts on the Mini Katana Z1 Invictus Blades folder. And yeah, this is like a red shred carbon fiber. I think it's, I don't know, it's not bad. It looks pretty nice. But I'm guessing it is a more affordable carbon fiber if I had to guess. And they did just standoffs. Would have been nice to see a titanium backspacer in there as well. So there's a couple of things there where it seems like maybe they cut some corners to lower the cost on their end. But I don't know. Anyway, that's the Z1. And then we have the Kaiser Huldra. And then we have the Wii Neferus. Neferus. All right, let me know what you guys think. Which one of these would you pick? Which one would you take home if you had the money, whatever, you know, just pretend. Which one would you take? Let me know down in the comments. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button. Hit that notification bell. Join memberships because you could win some cool shit like one of these. And I love you guys. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you later. Peace.